Welcome back to Confessions of a Magical Mom. Today we're going to start our 4-part series of the different parks at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. So today we're going to start with the best park of all, if you ask me, and that is going to be Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is home to the iconic Cinderella's Castle. It is probably the most pronounced park when you think of Walt Disney World. That's going to be what you think of. So we wanted to take time today to talk about our favorite aspects of Magic Kingdom when we go to visit. I personally could probably go to Disney World and only go to Magic Kingdom and hang out at the hotel and be perfectly content. Now that's also probably because I've been so many different times that I don't feel the need to go to the other parks. I just really, really love Magic Kingdom. So we're going to jump right in and let you guys hear about our favorite rides, our favorite places to eat, and our favorite thing to see when we are at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Orlando. All right.
So my favorite ride of all time in all of Disney property would have to be Space Mountain. It is back in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. You go back there. It's kind of in the back of the park, but you can go back there, and it is my most favorite ride ever. She won't ride it. She refuses, but someday we're going to get her on it. It is in the dark, just so you know. It is a dark ride, but the track is lit up as you're going, and it's a cart where people sit right behind each other. So it's no double, it's all single.
That's why I won't ride it. I'm scared to ride by myself.
But you're not technically riding by yourself. You have 3 other people with you. They're just or in front of you or behind you.
You can choke me if you want.
Now, is there a height requirement for Space Mountain?
There is a height requirement. I don't know what it is, but it's a roller coaster. So there is going to be a height requirement. So just be thinking of that. Definitely get a fast pass for it. I would suggest. There's typically a pretty long wait for it. We're not really willing to wait, but you might be. Yeah. So my next favorite ride is Seven Dwarfs, which is kind of smack dab in the middle of the park, I feel like. And this one you definitely want to get a fast pass if possible. Typically you're not looking at a wait under an hour. And so for some people it might be worth the wait, and it is a great ride. And I think our first trip we might have waited for it.
We had
some
trips.
trips
Our first, but we have waited
for it in the past, and I think it is worth it. But just keep in mind, I believe that one also has a height requirement on it. It is kind of a roller coaster. It's just kind of a slow one, but it does have a height requirement on that one for sure. And then my last favorite, which a lot of people really hate this ride, it is one that I have to do every Disney trip, and it's a Small World. This always has a pretty short wait. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm at Disney World when I'm on this ride. And it makes me happy, and I love getting to see all the different countries and aspects of the countries and the little people. Everyone else hates it.
I like it.
I like it.
But a lot of people don't like
Yeah.
it. I love it. It is a must ride every
Which
time
is
I go.
nice if you do like it, because the wait's never about
Yes.
20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, I've never waited more than 20 minutes
It's
for that
about
ride.
fun, basically.
So
And it's air conditioned. So
Yes.
in the summertime, it's pretty nice to just sit on the boat and go through the air conditioning and take a little rest and cool off. It's a nice little way to do that.
My favorite ride at Magic Kingdom is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I love all the roller coasters, except for Rock and Roller Coaster. I don't like that one. But I love all the roller coasters. They're a lot of fun because I like high-speed rides because,
Adrenaline.
yeah! That thing. But I like that one because it's really fast and it has a lot of bumps and it's outside, so there's and it's Western themed, and I love Western. I don't know why. My second favorite would have to be Pirates of the Caribbean. I have developed an obsession with Pirates of the Caribbean. Once I watch the movies, I have the Pirates of the Caribbean, their little designer dress. I have the Pirates hat thing, ears. I have a lot of pirate stuff. I love it. And fun fact, if you go during the Halloween party and ride Pirates of the Caribbean, they replace all the animatronics with real life people.
Not all of them, but
Most of
some
them.
of them. Some of them.
Some of them, so it's a lot. So it's unique every time you go through, which we did not get to do. I'm sad about that.
Next time.
Next time. My third favorite ride would have to be the Tomorrowland Speedway because I love racing games, and I might like the smell too, a lot.
What does it smell like?
Exhaust.
like exhausting gasoline. Well, what is Tomorrowland Speedway?
It's where you get in a little, so you ride, okay. So there's a certain height requirement to ride, and there's a certain height requirement to ride alone. And you drive the cars around, and you just kind of race each other, even though it's not really a race, but you get to drive around the track, and it's a lot of fun.
It's kind of like go-karts.
Yeah.
But they have a governor on them, which means that it limits how fast you can go. You don't go very fast at all, and it is on a track.
And it's extremely hard to steer because if you don't stay straight in the middle, it goes.
Yeah, but that's part of
how
the
they
fun.
are.
That's part of the fun.
One more thing about hers, the first one she talked about, Big Thunder. That is a little hidden gem that if you can get on it during fireworks,
Oh, yeah.
it is phenomenal. You can see the fireworks show perfectly right as you're riding it, and it's something that we only found a few trips ago. Actually, It was like our last trip. Maybe.
I think it was when we went on our girls' trip.
Yeah,
last
so
summer.
actually a year ago this summer is when we found it. We just got on it one day during fireworks because we didn't want to wait. Or we didn't want to sit and watch fireworks, and you could see the fireworks show perfectly. You could hear the music. It's really cool if you get the chance to go back there during that time.
And if you go to the fireworks, you can ride it like 4 times before the
Yeah.
fireworks are over.
Yeah.
And it's like walk on every time.
Definitely a must do now every trip we go on.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Hunter. What
So-
are your 3 favorite rides?
My 3 favorite rides. The first one would have to be Astro Orbiter. It's this I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you go into Tomorrowland, there's this big pillar with a restaurant and an escalator. It goes up, 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 and it's like super high up. And like
It's like
You
a
get-
boat.
yeah, you get in this little like rocket ship thing. It's a 2-seater, not very comfortably.
No,
I seat 2.
You can fit 2, but I highly recommend doing 1 if you can because it is tight.
And when you get on, it goes around and it raises and lowers you. But you also have the ability, there's this little lever at the front, and you can make yourself go up higher or down lower if you want.
Don't ride that one at night. It gets so cold.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's cool though. It's really cool because
Yeah.
it's probably the highest ride at Magic Kingdom. I can't.
Yeah.
That is not like official information. That's my opinion. So when you get on it and you go all the way up, you get like you can see like so much of the park while you're on the ride that it's
And
pretty cool.
They have an escalator and stairs and an elevator.
No,
So,
you have to take the elevator to get on the Astro Orbiter.
yeah. But they also have an escalator that
But
takes
that's
you to the
different.
platform.
That's for a different
That's for a
ride.
different ride. That's the
That's for-
people mover.
Yes.
I thought the escalator took you to the
No.
platform.
No.
No.
You have to get on
Alright.
the elevator. So it does take sometimes a little bit of time, even if there's not a long line, just because you can only fit so many people at a time. So they load however many can ride the ride into the elevator, and then they take you up, and then you get off, ride the ride, and then you come down, and a new group comes up. So it can take a little bit of time. Just because of the process of loading and unloading. But it's really cool because you go so high.
Yeah.
All right?
My second favorite ride would be the Carousel of Progress. It sounds weird, but I just like that ride, especially if it's like raining or if it's hot out and you just want to sit down and relax. It's a good ride because it's not like you're going on a roller coaster and stuff. You basically just sit in this room and it spins around and there's different scenes and it like takes you. It's like
Takes you through the eras.
yeah, like they were on a homestead at one point and then
It's just through the progression.
yeah.
The progression of society as they, get electricity and things like that, which sounds kind of lame, but it's actually pretty cool. And it's got a really, really, really catchy song that you'll
Yeah.
be singing the rest of the beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. Okay,
We're not
We're not
singers.
singers, just like we established we
Yeah.
weren't folks, but it'll have you singing it all day. All right, what's your last? Well, maybe not your last, but the third one you're going to talk about.
My third one would have to be Laugh Floor. I don't know. I just like it. It's another one like the Carousel of Progress, where you can just go in there and sit down and relax.
Yeah.
It's,
But what is it though?
it's so Monsters Inc. You basically at the end of Monsters Inc. I believe they found the new source of energy and stuff. So when you go in there, it's basically just a comedy show from different monsters, and you can actually, I think you can send
You
jokes.
can submit jokes while you're waiting in the queue or the line, whatever you call
Yeah.
it. You can send in jokes, and they do actually use them in this show, and it's funny.
And
it's really funny.
They pick people throughout the thing. So
it's interactive with the audience.
I would like to say,
So, like,
I
it's
did
not
get
just-
picked.
Yes, he got
Oh, I
picked,
remember
and we
that.
never heard the end of it the rest of the trip because he thought he was a star. But yeah, that's another really fun, entertaining one that you sit in the air condition, which we keep talking about that. But if you've never been to Disney in the summer, you don't understand the importance of knowing what rides and shows and things are sitting
Yes.
and air conditioning. But you will learn to seek those out. So yeah.
And
Since I am famous, you can comment down below if you want my headshot.
Oh my gosh.
And because Monsters Inc. is interactive, no matter how many times you go, it's never the same. Because,
True.
Like, the monsters do actually like it's not there's like certain colors that the
Yeah.
monsters go by. Like it changes every.
They like
single
roast
time.
the people in the audience and things like that.
So you
So
can
it's
tell it's specific.
it's different every time, absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna go last for favorite rides, and I have I think I've established in one of our previous videos, but I can't remember, and maybe you haven't watched that one, that I am a chicken. So I am a huge ride chicken. I'm scared of roller coasters. I try something new on every single trip, but I have yet to ride Space Mountain. That is the last ride in Magic Kingdom for me to ride. I say every trip I'm going to do it, and every trip I chicken out. So I told the kids maybe on this next trip, if we get to go in June when we're scheduled, that I would ride it because it would make good content for the YouTube channel. So,
We'll blindfold you and take on.
but we'll see. I'm not committing to that, but yes.
Will you ride it if we get 2,000 Instagram followers?
I can't commit to anything right now. But the reason I bring that up is because my number one ride that I like to ride, I wouldn't say it's my favorite ride, but it's a ride that I ride every time we go to Magic Kingdom, is the People Mover. So that is like this little cart. It like never has a ride. It's in Tomorrowland. You get on an escalator. But like Hunter was saying, the Astro Orbiter is on top of the platform that the People Mover is on, and it kind of goes through through Tomorrowland, and it even goes like you can kind of see Space Mountain a little bit. But the reason I like to ride that is because it doesn't have a wait. It is right across from Space Mountain. So when I drop my family off at Space Mountain and I gather up all the backpacks and things that they can't take on the ride, I am the backpack holder and I get on People Mover, and it keeps me from just sitting there by myself waiting for them to get off the ride. I ride the People Mover around, then I get off and I go in the Space Mountain gift shop and I wait for them to come out because I am a ride chicken. I will say I will ride Big Thunder Mountain. It does not scare me. Seven Dwarfs, first time was a little rocky for me. Caroline got to be my ride partner, but I don't like drops. So I think that's another reason why I really like Magic Kingdom, is because I'm not a big, I don't like thrill rides. I don't like things like that. And Magic Kingdom has so many rides. I feel like I can do everything almost at Magic Kingdom, even though I'm not a ride person. My other ride that I like that is a pretty polarizing ride for people are the teacups. I almost would venture to say that the teacups are my favorite ride at Magic Kingdom. I love them. I like to do them every single time. I could do them multiple times. I can go in circles all day long, but I cannot go up and down. That's what gets me for roller coasters. So teacups don't bother me. A lot of people do not ride the teacups because it makes them sick. Our dad that goes with us, that you got to see in our YouTube video for a real short time yesterday, he will not ride the teacups. So he's the backpack holder on the teacups. The four of us can fit in one teacup. It's pretty tight.
It's tight, but we can do it.
When Hunter gets much older, we might have to split into two. But I don't know. There's just something nostalgic about the teacups to me when it comes to Disney World. And I've heard a rumor that if you're like the first person in line for the teacups for the day, that you get to ride with Alice. but I don't know if that's true or not. I've seen that a couple
We'll have
times.
to try it
I've
out.
seen
Yeah.
the characters on there a few times.
Yeah, so I've seen it on a couple different blogs, but we've never experienced it. My third favorite ride has to be Splash Mountain, which I know you're saying, you just said you don't do things that go up and down. That makes no sense. Because Splash Mountain is a log ride that's at Magic Kingdom that has the big, huge drop at the end. And I don't know why, but I can do that one. I tend to do better with rides that I can sit next to somebody, which I think is kind of why Space Mountain freaks me out, because you sit one in front of the other. But I love Splash Mountain. It's the one that has the Zippity Doo-Dah song. And again, I guess it's from my childhood. We used to have this Disney sing-along VHS tape at my aunt and uncle's house that I used to watch all the time, and that song was on there when they were at Disney World, and I think that just kind of like, I don't know, it just takes me back to my childhood. Be prepared. I have gone on it and come off not wet at all. Lily and I rode in the front seat last June and came off looking like we had been swimming. We were soaking wet. So I would recommend, if you're going to do Splash Mountain, either do it last ride of the day or take clothes to change into and be prepared. Another one that I would recommend getting fast passes for if you can, because sometimes it does have a little bit of a long wait. So, do what? Yes, I was wearing my donut ears that I think I wore in another video earlier. A couple days ago, last week. I don't even know what day it is anymore. And because they were made out of styrofoam, they started disintegrating on the ride. So I had to get them off and put them in my backpack really fast. So anyway, there's tons of rides in Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is probably the best park for little kids because there's a lot of rides that are no height requirement, which means everybody can ride and everybody can enjoy it together. So I think that's probably why Magic Kingdom is my favorite park. So, next we're going to chat as riding is for our family. So there are 3 different types of eating establishments that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a quick service, which what a quick service means. We covered it in another video, but we'll just visit it really quick. A quick service means you're going to go up to a counter, you're going to order the food, you're going to get the food yourself, and you're going to go find a table to sit at and eat. So think like a fast food restaurant. There is mobile ordering now on your phone. So if you download the Disney World app, which you should absolutely do that if you're going to go to Disney anyway, because you can access wait times and all kinds of stuff on there. You can actually go online, order your food, and then there's a special window you just walk up to and grab it. And we did that a couple times on our last trip, and it saved us so much time. The next type that we're going to be referring to is a table service meal. A table service meal is where you're going to go in and you're going to sit down, and a waiter is going to come to your table and take your order and bring it to you and clean up after you. Like if you're going to just a restaurant in your hometown, think Chili's or somewhere like that. And the last thing is a snack. Now, snacks can be purchased at little carts around the park. They can be purchased at special little walk-up windows. Quick service locations also, you can use snack credits there for some of their desserts and side dishes. So those are the 3 that we're going to cover as far as Magic Kingdom goes.
Yeah, so my favorite snack at Magic Kingdom would have to be the character caramel apples. So I get those at the Main Street Confectionery, which is right as soon as you walk onto Main Street to your right. And I love the confectionery anyways, and going in there, it's just all the sweets and all the good things. But I really love their caramel apples. They are about $14.99, which is pretty pricey, but it's worth it. You got to get at least one during your trip.
I've never had one.
You got to add some. Of mine.
Yeah, I've had some of hers, but
yeah, she's never bought her own. But they are definitely my favorite snack that I can get there. My favorite quick service is not actually a restaurant. It is back by the President's Hall, which is over towards Haunted Mansion. You're gonna go past the Tangled bathrooms. It's back in the back of the park, and it's just at a little kiosk sort of thing, and you can get a turkey leg there. I know it's not anything special but I love turkey legs, and so these are really good. They're really big. They fill you up. It's a must-have every time I go. So I love those. My favorite sit-down restaurant is Crystal Palace, which is a character breakfast. I prefer to go there for breakfast. I don't think I've ever actually been at dinner or lunch, but the breakfast is amazing. They have Pooh and Tigger and Piglet
And Eeyore.
And they walk around and they meet you at your table, and it is just, it's magical. That was the first place we ate on our first Disney trip. Maybe that has something to do with why I like it so much, but it's one that I love to go, and we haven't been in a while, and I would love to try it out again because it is my favorite for sure.
That's also my favorite table service, but unlike her, I have been for dinner before. I don't remember what I got, but I know it was good.
It's a buffet.
Yeah, it's a buffet. And the guy there was really nice because he told us stories. As kids, he sat down and told us stories about his time working there and some, like, just fun little, like, tales, I guess he heard around the park. And it was a lot of fun. My favorite quick service would have to be Pinocchio Village House. It's right next door to It's a Small World. There's actually a big window that lets you look over the loading area for It's a Small World. They sell, or they serve you pizza and breadsticks. Heads up, one thing of breadsticks will feed about 6 people.
Yeah, it's a
They're
lot.
like this big, and there's like 4 per boat. Don't buy them individually. Like, don't everybody get breadsticks.
I think we made that mistake one time.
We did make that mistake the first time we ate there. And we were eating with another family, so
Yeah.
there were 8 of us, and we all ordered breadsticks, so we had like 30 breadsticks at the table.
Stack them in the bag.
Yeah, it was something. My favorite snack would have to be the popcorn. Like I said before, I love popcorn, and they have their kiosks open later than most of the other parks, so I can get it all the time while we're there. And it's really buttery, and it's really salty, and it's everywhere.
But you also have another snack that you really like.
I also like the Buzz Lightyear slush. It's
Yeah.
under the People Mover, under the Astro Orbiter. It's a little walk-up window, and it's like I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was like a sour apple.
Yeah,
slush.
it was like sour apple and berry.
Maybe
Yeah.
grape or something.
Yeah.
And the straw, they coat it in rock candy, which is a little uncomfortable.
It's
but it
good.
tastes
Tried that one time.
It's like a
I don't think I've had it.
lime, I think.
Yeah.
Rock candy. And I don't
It's
usually like
good.
citrus. Like, I hate lime and lemon, but that was good.
All right.
My favorite quick service is Casey's Corner. It's basically like an old fashioned diner. You can get hot dogs, and I'm pretty sure they
Just hot
Hot dogs?
dogs
I thought
and
they
corn
had-
dogs. No, they don't have
Corn
any. They don't
dogs.
even have hamburgers. Hot dogs, French fries, things like that.
and just it sounds weird, but just to have a normal hot dog, not
Yeah.
these fancy meals, it's good sometimes.
And it's at the very end of Main Street on the left-hand side, right
Yes.
before you get to the castle.
My favorite sit down, table service sit down. We've only been once, but it was amazing. It was Cinderella's Royal Table.
It's hard to get.
Really hard to get reservations there.
And fun fact, they used to, I think they banned it.
I have no clue because we haven't been in years.
They used to give out like little swords. The girls would get little wands, I'm
Very
pretty sure.
warms.
And then the boys would get like night swords.
Yeah.
I'm sad because after I figured out that happened, I put it in the wall when we did that time capsule.
Oh
So
yeah.
now I only have one.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
We created a time capsule in our old house when we remodeled our kitchen, and he put his sword in that time capsule, I
And
guess,
like a
without
day
thinking
later.
it. Yeah. And it is a character breakfast. I mean, a character. Well, you can eat there for breakfast and dinner, I think. I don't
Yes.
think they have lunch.
Yeah.
It is a character meal. With all the princesses, just the princesses. There's no princes there. And if you're
Yeah.
using the dining plan, it does take 2 dining credits. It is really hard to get. So like you got to be on your 180-day mark, ready to go. The one time we got it, I was able to I think I was on the minute reservations open, and I got lucky and I snagged one. But if you want it and you can't get it, I'm telling y'all, just constantly check back. Check back at weird times of the day too, because if somebody cancels, it will become available.
Yeah.
All right.
And that is actually in the castle.
Yeah, it's being able to eat inside Cinderella's castle. So if I hear that it has a really good view of the fireworks as well. But we I think did breakfast.
Yeah, we did.
So we haven't experienced that, but supposedly if you can get reservations during the fireworks show, it's really cool too.
Yeah.
But it's
Then-
really expensive.
My snack, I know I said the Mickey Rice Krispie in the last one.
No, you didn't. You said the pretzel.
Pretzel, same difference.
They're
But-
actually different.
Only thing that's similar.
Anyway, so what do you want to talk about today? Because you thought of another one you really like.
I like the churros. There's this little stand at Tom Sawyer's Island. It's like when you walk down Main Street, there's like a little lake at the end. And if you go around it, there's a couple bridges and a snack stand right there. They have churros there. That's the only place I've ever seen them. But they're pretty good. So that would have to be my favorite snack.
All right. And for me, my favorite quick service probably has to be Columbia Harbor House. So it is located in Liberty Square. It is across from the Haunted Mansion gift shop. It serves kind of New England style food, so I love to get the lobster roll there. My kids aren't a huge fan of it, just because they're not big seafood eaters, other than Hunter and Caroline likes crab, but they don't have crab there. But we really like the Columbia Harbor House, my husband and I do. My favorite table service. This is gonna be kind of like it's actually not my favorite, and I'm gonna explain why. Tony's Town Square is an Italian restaurant themed after Lady and the Tramp. It is as soon as you walk into Disney World, into Magic Kingdom, on the right-hand side, there is a Town Square theater that you can go visit Mickey Mouse, and I think Tinkerbell is in there. I don't know if she's still there, but she used to be. And right next door to that is Tony's Town Square, an Italian restaurant. Like I said, it's themed after the Italian restaurant in the movie Lady and the Tramp. So we have eaten there one time, and we were unimpressed. Now, you're thinking, why would you pick that as your favorite restaurant if you were unimpressed by it? And it's because I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. So, we are on lots of Disney pages and lots of Disney chat boards and things like that. And people love Tony's Town Square. They really do. They just go on and on. Some of our favorite YouTubers that we like to watch, she loves going to Tony's Town Square.
Shout out Tim Tracker.
Yeah,
Tim Tracker.
we love watching them. So what we've decided is when we go in June, fingers crossed we get to go. We have reservations at Tony's Town Square, and I even bought myself a Lady and the Tramp t-shirt just to get myself in the mood, and I'm going to give it another chance, and I have a feeling that maybe we'll be a little bit more, and all restaurants are hit or miss too, so that's something to keep in mind too. For every person you find that loves a restaurant, you'll find somebody that hates it.
That was also 6 years ago.
It was a long time ago. It was our very first trip, and I think
maybe our palates have changed a little bit as we
I
got
got
older.
chicken strips.
Yeah, Lily got chicken strips at so
everywhere we went.
yeah,
the first
and that's
trip.
something that we learned too on our first trip. We ate a lot of hamburgers for our quick service because we did not realize that you could use your quick service at like Columbia Harbor House or at Pinocchio Village House and get a pizza, or at what did you say? Casey's and get a hot dog. You don't have to just eat hamburgers. So that's a little tip that we learned the hard way too. Any restaurant that serves food that you walk up and order, you can use your quick service credits at it. It doesn't have to just be hamburgers, and the people that work there will be super helpful with you and make sure that you know exactly what you're ordering and you're taking advantage of your plan. So last thing, my favorite snack, I talked about it in the last video, is at Sleepy Hollow. I absolutely love getting the extra large Mickey waffle topped with strawberries and whipped cream. We also, like as a family, I think our favorite snack is going to the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor at the corner on Main Street. It's across the street from Casey's, but we're not going to give you our little tip for that until we do our tips and tricks video at the end of the week. We have,
Our tip.
It's
You're allowed
our.
to have it.
Yeah, no, that's not true. We're going to give it, but we're going to save it for the tips and tricks video, how we use the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor to just...
Don't give it yet.
I'm not going to give it yet. So make sure you tune into that video.
Oh, boy.
All right, so the last thing we want to cover on our Magic Kingdom video is our favorite sight to see at Magic Kingdom. So the things we're going to talk about, they're not a ride, they're not a show, they're not somewhere you eat. It's like just a thing at Magic Kingdom that we like to make sure that we always experience when we go.
Yeah, so my favorite is the purple wall. It is back in Tomorrowland, kind of hidden. I don't want to tell you where it is because it's but it's very popular. If you Google the purple wall at Disney World, you're gonna find thousands of photos of people. I'm also really big into social media, stuff like that, and so being able to take a picture of the iconic purple wall at Disney World is something that I love. I think, if I remember correctly, it is back in Tomorrowland, kind of across from Stitch and right by the laugh floor, but around the corner. So, good luck. You can ask someone and they'll help you find it. That's not the best explanation of where it is, but...
We, as a family, love the Tangled bathrooms.
You're like, a bathroom? That's weird.
They're really cool. They have
Yeah.
they have like the Kingdom of Corona, like all their what's it called?
Lanterns.
Like the lanterns, the sun,
The banners.
the banners,
Yes.
like the whole bathroom's just decorated Tangled, and I think it's right next to the Tangled Tower too. And right outside the bathrooms, there's a photo op opportunity with the lantern from Tangled that her parents launch in the sky. It's a really long line though.
And
Usually,
I'm pretty sure that lantern costs like a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I remember them
It's
talking
really
about that.
Is it only at night though that you can do the photo
Yes.
opportunity?
Yeah.
Because
It lights up.
It lights up. We'll insert a picture. Caroline and Lily
Yeah.
took a photo when we were there in the fall. They did the lantern photo, so we'll insert the picture so you can kind of see what we're talking about because it's a really pretty picture.
but like the picture, the wait is like an hour long each time.
But it's worth it. I wouldn't know if it's an hour, but it's definitely worth it. But be prepared to wait.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually have two things, but the first thing is Tom Sawyer's Island. I like it because you're at Disney and there's all these rides and all this, just everywhere is everything. And when you go to Tom Sawyer's Island, it's literally just like an abandoned island. And they actually, I think, didn't you say they had like keys or something there?
They got rid of that.
That's
Oh, they got
they
rid
don't
of it.
they don't have that anymore.
But I just like Tom Sawyer's Island. It's just kind of a retreat away from everything.
They
How
have
do
a
you get to
little.
it?
They have a little playground area that connects to the mines underneath, and there's like tunnels all over
Yes.
the place that are little mines you can go in.
Yeah.
That is extremely fun.
We like
And
to
they
go
have
in
a
and scare
fort.
each other.
Yeah.
And they have a fort.
So how do you get to Tom Sawyer's Island though?
So, like I was saying earlier with the churros, that there's a little bridge right there. If you take that bridge, it takes you to another walkway that takes you to like a ferry stand. I think there's 2 ferry stands, one on each side, right?
I honestly don't remember.
They're just little ferries that you get on and it takes you across the river.
It's over by Splash Mountain in Big
Yeah,
River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right
And you
over there.
cannot go over there once it gets dark. So it is a limited time during the day that you can visit Tom Sawyer's Island.
Exactly.
All right, what's your second one?
Another thing is they actually do at the end of every day, I'm pretty sure,
Mhm, yeah.
there's like a flag retrieval that like they actually, you can, I don't know if you like sign up or if they randomly pick you.
It has to be a veteran.
Yeah, it's a veteran.
It's a veteran, a military veteran is selected each day. I think you can go ask them if they have somebody already for that day. And
Yeah.
if they don't, you can, but I don't really know the process for picking
Yeah.
out who gets to participate.
But it's really cool to watch, especially because I am a Boy Scout, so.
So it's really cool to go on the train station, go up to the top, and then watch the flag retrieval that way. I mean, it's just, it's pretty, it's very patriotic, and it just makes you just, I don't know, it just kind of gives you all the feels or whatever. So
Video
it's
of the
really
flag
cool.
retrieval if we want to post that.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
video of it. We'll see if we can post that. So I'm going to go ahead and go because mine kind of plays into his. I love the Dapper Dans. So the Dapper Dans is a quartet of like, what do you call them? I can't think of the name. Like it's it's 4 men and they are dressed in the pinstripe suits, kind of like the old Main Street, and they are out select times of the day, and they're like a barbershop Barber Shop Quartet. They don't sing like that. They sing on Main Street. They put on shows, but they participate in the flag retrieval and they sing the national anthem, right?
Yeah.
I think it was the national anthem. Yeah, they sing it during the flag retrieval, and I just like the Dapper Dance because it kind of takes me back in time and makes me really feel like I'm on an old street in a small town, Main Street, USA, and it just gives me all the feels whenever I hear them singing and I'm walking down Main Street. So definitely check out the Dapper Dance if you get an opportunity to do that. So tomorrow we are going to be talking about Caroline's favorite park, which is
Epcot.
So tune in tomorrow for our video of Epcot, our favorite rides, our favorite countries, our favorite eats, our favorite things to do in Epcot, and we will chat with you tomorrow. All right, so we'll see you real soon.